Hi and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I'm Rachael Thompson-Phillips, the creator of the BEYOU Oracle Cards and also of the Sacred Oracle online program. This week's energy forecast is for March the 22nd through to March the 28th, with the overall theme being dive in to your passions and purpose. Let's go in and explore this beautiful overall theme through the individual cards that shares us a story, being able to relay the different types of energy that we are on a collective consciousness or working with this week. So Monday and Tuesday is the card of dreams. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of focus, and the weekend's message is love. Now, what a gorgeous way to start the week, being able to reignite your passion and purpose through your dreams, finding that you will be exploring and being deeply connected to that heart space of why something matters to you, why you want to fulfill that dream, what makes it so important, and therefore then moving into the how-to steps. This reignition of your dreams is about to connect you back to your purpose and your passion. As we all know, we all come into this earth plane with a soul contract. And each person's soul contract is so very different, and yet sometimes the greatest thing that comes through as I share this message with you is to not compare your dream to someone else's, or to not compare where someone else is along being able to fulfill their dreams in comparison to where you are. Be very mindful that you might be at the beginning phase of being able to start your dreams. So if you are looking to someone that inspires you, or someone that you look up to that's further along in their journey and has reached the success that you would love to be able to attain, this is the moment to be able to enhance that and to be able to really feel into using that person rather than comparing yourself, because all that does is bridges the gap and it stunts your growth and limits your potential, because you're so busy judging yourself based on where someone else is, and that only just holds you back even further. Use that person that you may be looking up to as an inspiration. If I keep doing those steps, then I know that this person has achieved that goal. That means that I can achieve the goal. And it also is, that goes back to that statement where they say sometimes by having someone that inspires, you can also help fast track your growth, because when you shift that energy from judgment and comparison to inspiration, therefore you start moving through the phases so much more quicker, because your energy becomes aligned with inspiration, and therefore that motivates you more to be able to achieve your dreams. As you can see on this card, there is that dream catcher on her arm, and it's about being able to look at all the intricacies of being able to fulfill your dreams, staying committed to your own self, to your passion, to your purpose, what ignites your soul and lights up your heart space as well. Because when you do something that you're passionate about, it just ignites a passion and a fuel deep within you. And sometimes they're words that, I mean, even at this point, I'm finding a challenge to be able to find the right words that explains it, but you'll know when you're doing something that you're passionate about, because there's just a warmth that comes over your chest, and a motivation, and your mind opens and expands, and you do all of these amazing things, and you end up achieving a lot more than what you ever thought that you were capable of, because you allow yourself to stay in that flow state, which is directly connected to that heart space that stays open and expansive, and right behind there sits our soul. So there's this opening, cracking open your heart, that allows you to be able to gain more access to your dreams. So take these moments to really allow yourself to stay in this beautiful dream state. I know for my own self here on the Gold Coast, and I'm sure there's other places if you're in Australia and listening to this, that there's been an absolute deluge of rain that's come through. And I found myself this morning just sitting in bed, hence why I'm running a little bit late today, just sitting in bed and listening to the rain fall onto the rooftop of the house, and it just allowed like your mind to just become calm and still and give you that direct access to your dreams. And ask those contemplative questions that, you know, what would it be like if you actually achieved it? How would it feel? What would it look like? How different would your world be if you knew? And not only would your world be different, but how different would you be if you were waking up every day doing something that you loved? And sometimes through all this deluge of brain that's around, we're incapable of being able to do a lot of things. So it allows us to reach that stillness, which in this stillness is where we become more directly connected with our intuition, where we can embrace our dreams and bypass all of that fear and step into the space of passion and purpose. So that's Monday and Tuesday. Now, as we can lead through to Wednesday through to Friday, you can see Monday and Tuesday is about what inspires you and why does it inspire you. And as we move through to Wednesday through to Friday, it's the how-to steps. It's the focus card. The focus card is about being able to see that your mind is consumed with so many wicked ideas. The moment that you open and expand yourself to your dreams and your passion and your purpose, all of a sudden then we start thinking about all the how-to steps, and this is where we can move into a space of being overwhelmed. So this is what I adore about Oracle cards, is they give us guidance and wisdom on how to be able to work with this. This card is explaining to you that, yes, it's so awesome that to be have an overflowing abundance of ideas and inspiration. But then you've got to be able to channel it in a way that it converts into actionable steps. So with this card, the greatest advice that I love to be able to share, or guidance that I like to be able to share with people, is how to really embrace all of that inspiration. And the quickest way to be able to attain and be able to utilize all of that inspired action is to be able to write it down. Our intuition doesn't always come as A plus B equals C. Sometimes you might get M, A, E, F, all these different, and all of these information coming into you from every channel, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, or there's so much there for me to do, I don't know where to start. So by writing down all of these super cool intuitive guidance that's coming into your consciousness, write them down, and as you start working through the list, being able to see what is the priority, where does it begin, then you start to see that there is this story or all the pieces of the puzzle starting to unfold for you, and you don't even need to look at every single step because it's right there for you. It's just a matter of prioritizing and putting it in its right space. And by having it written down allows you, when you find that you move into that space of, as much as it's super cool to have an influx of inspiration, you've got to be able to know how to harness that and put it back into a structure that the human mind is capable of being able to absorb and utilize to its potential. And therefore, you can, when you find yourself being all scattered, you can sit down at your list and go, well, this is the next step. This is where I'm just going to channel my energy. And it's so important to be able to remember to do one task, do it well, and move on. A lot of the times as women, and I'm going to say that as women, we have been preempted to believe that it is okay for us to have 10 things going. That multitasking is amazing. And there was a time that it was. But now we're finding that all that does is leaves us, our energy feeling completely scattered. Things don't get done well. We reach a state of overwhelm. And then if we reach that and we move into a state of frustration because things are not unfolding the way that we want, or we find there's mistakes or problems, then we give up. So, time to shift from those old paradigm ways of thinking of multitasking. Sit down, do one task, do it well, so that you can then pull your energy back in, look at the next step, and then rechannel your energy towards the next task that needs to be done. That way you can move through your tasks or your how-to steps to be able to achieve your dreams in a very methodical and very structured way. So therefore you know where to channel your energy, and that is where all your thoughts, your energy, your inspiration can get directed to, for you to be able to achieve that. So those are those moments that you can sit back and go, well, I'm going to work on this step. How is it that I want it to look? What is the outcome that I want to be able to achieve when I do this step? And allow that those those beautiful influx of information that comes in to inspire you whilst you're doing every single step. Because remember, it's not about how quick you can move through things. I mean, yeah, they say to us all the time, you know, hustle, 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 busy, busy, busy. And it's not. Sometimes it's about creating that space to be able to enjoy the journey and just go, okay, well, I'm going to work on this step. What does it look like? And how can it serve? Or what was the vision that I had for this next part? And allow yourself to have that expansion, regroup, regather, get all the information that you want, then put it down on a piece of paper on boom. Now these are the action steps, so that we're not spending too much time out there in the ether. We're opening up to all the information that's available to us and extracting every bit of information that you need to be able to fulfill that step, to bring it back into that human component, put it into a structured manner so that you can move forward. This is how we turn our dreams from the why and the what into moving into the house 2 steps, which is the action, where we apply all of that beautiful information and convert it into something that is tangible. Dreams, a lot of the times we think of them out here. It's a matter of drawing them into your energy vortex and looking at being able to both to utilize your whole soul team, which is your soul, self, and source, which is universe, and combining them and working as a beautiful collective team to be able to enjoy this journey and start to see, because without the action steps, you don't start to see the dreams unfolding. They'll forever stay out there rather than bringing them into this reality. So that's Wednesday through to Friday. As we move forward through to the weekend, it's about being connected to that love component. When you love what you're doing, you are, I'm not going to say a different version. I'm going to say a varied version of yourself comes through. That one that bypasses the overthinking and you just step into the space of what you're so passionate about. Have you ever met someone and they start telling you about what they do for a job or their hobbies, and all of a sudden you just see this ray of light that just shines behind them? Their words come with a different expression of energy attached to them, because all of those words have come from where their heart has been opened, and you're gaining access into that soul conversation of what lights up their soul. This is the importance of being able to, you know, if there is a component within your dreams where it involves needing to sell or being able to talk to people about what you do, this is that moment where you don't have to worry about how am I going to do it in a way that people, you know, that sells, or, you know, attracts more clients or anything of that form. This is the moment that you don't need to worry about that, because when people hear you talking about what you're passionate about, people are inspired by other people's passions, and therefore that you naturally attract all of your soul clients that will help you in your journey of being able to serve others, but also being able to serve yourself. This is also this moment where we need to stay more connected to what you're passionate about, and being connected to that love component of your dream, because on Sunday night is a full moon. As we know, the full moon shines the light on all of our fear-based thoughts, those skeletons in the closet. So you may find that as you move into that space towards the weekend's energy, that you become connected back into those fears and doubts. And there is that expression that love conquers everything. So when those fears come up, that is okay. But fear is it's a darker, denser, heavier energy. Love is of lightness. It is filled and fueled with an energy that surpasses that heaviness. So the more allow those fears to come up, give them gratitude and give yourself thanks for that, because they're coming up from your soul to share with you, hey, you don't need this anymore, because your love and passion is so directly connected and so deeply resonates with your purpose, your soul contract, that surpasses and becomes a blanket that envelopes those fears and doubts and allows them to dissolve and move away, and give gratitude for that, because it's that experience of transformation. So over the weekend, remind yourself of that love, why you begin. So we start the week with the questions of why you're directly connected to your dreams, what makes it so passionate. Then we move through to midweek, which is talking about the how-to steps, and then we do this beautiful complete circle, which is then coming back into the love area, which then again reconnects us back to the why and the what, and we keep doing this beautiful circle of going through all of the things and being directly connected back to your dreams. So therefore, allow that expression of love to come through on the weekend. A lot of the times I find we become very afraid of our fears and our doubts because we think, oh, if I give myself permission to think about them, then I must be giving them truth. Now, please remember, I would love for you to reframe the energy come the weekend. Yes, there is that validity to it. At one time and space, you did believe in those fears and those doubts, but you're no longer that person anymore. This is where you're operating from a much higher level of your most optimal self, the highest version of self, when you are working in complete alignment with your soul and source, your passion, your purpose. Therefore, you have the capacity to have a different perspective on those fears and doubts, where you can recognize them and give validity to them and be able to move through that time and space and be able to shift those beliefs and limitations that you had before. And therefore, the universe, Mother Earth, opens up this galactic portal that says, here is a space that it is only natural that your fears and doubts come through, but I'm going to give you this opportunity to be able to work with the energy of this week and be able to burn all of those limitations that you have through doing gorgeous full moon rituals. Now, and who doesn't like to burn the shit out of their fears and doubts? It's about, again, being able to write down, give permission to validate those fears and doubts, write them all down on a piece of paper, and then immerse yourself in the feeling of how much love you have, connecting with your passion that connects you to your purpose. And therefore, when you feel that you are completely immersed in that love energy, therefore you can light the piece of paper off of your fears and doubts and feel that full dissolvency of dissolving the energy between your fears and doubts and your love and your passion. And therefore, again, it elevates you to stay even more connected with your why, your what, and your how of why something is so super important to you. So, as you can see, this week is going to immerse yourself in being even more connected to that soul-based part within yourself. And therefore you might find that there is a heightened level of sensitivity. Be mindful of that, but also be in that space of excitement, because when we're excited about what we do, we continue to expand our capability to be able to keep receiving more divine information from our soul, seeing the signs and synchronicities that show up through as messages from the universe, and then drawing them all into that human part and turning them into the action steps. So this week is going to be very motivational and incredibly inspiring. So please take care and give yourself permission to enjoy every ounce of what this week shares with you, because it really is going to be a beautiful journey if you give yourself permission to enjoy it. So much love, take care, and have a magical week. Much love. See you guys.